1, 2, check. 1, 2. Okay, lesson 51. Multiplying by two-digit numbers. When we multiply by a two-digit numbers, we really multiply twice. We multiply by the tens and then we multiply by the ones. Here we are multiplying 43 by 12. Since 12 is 10 plus 2, we can multiply 43 by 10 and then 43 by 2, and then we add the products. So we are going to do it both ways, and then I will show you how they're the same. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 4 is 8, and then we have to add the tens. 1 times, so we put a 0 down here to save our place, and then 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 4 is 4. So we will have 430 plus 86, which is the same as 0 times 3 is 0, and 0 times 4 is 0, and then 1 times 3 is 3, and then 1 times 4 is 4. So we have, add these together, 0, 3, 4, 430, which is what we got over here, plus 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 4 is 8. So we have 430 plus 86, both times. So then all we have to do is add 430 plus 86, and we get 516. So the first step is multiply by the ones. Then you have to drop your 0. See how I dropped this 0? You have to save your spot because you are multiplying by the ones and then you are multiplying by the tens. So that means the first space that multiplying by the tens can go is the tens place. So drop your 0. Very important. Then you multiply by the tens, then you add the products up. Example 2. At 35 cents each, what is the cost of 2 dozen pencils? 2 dozen is 24. So we do 24 times 35. We multiply 35 cents by 24. We ignore the dollar sign and the decimal point until we have a final product. So the first thing that we're going to do is 4 times 5, which is 20. And then 4 times 3, which is 12, 13, 14. And then 2 times 5, which is 10. And then 2 times 3, which is 6, plus 1 is 7. Oh, but I forgot to drop my 0. You can't forget to drop your 0. So that would, dropping my 0 would be that 0, and then the 10 would be this one. And then you add it together. Then, after you've done all of that, you add the decimal point back in, okay? So you're going to divide it into areas, the ones, the tens, and the hundreds, or in this case, the pennies, the dimes, and then the dollars, okay? So 0, 4, 8. So the answer is $8.40. Yes, okay. After multiplying, we place the decimal point. Since we have multiplied cents, we show the cents as the final product by placing the decimal point so that we are 2 digits to the right. So you see how if there was no decimal point, then this would be 35 times 24. But it's 35 cents, so we've got to count 1, 2 places and add the decimal point, and then you've got to go 1, 2 places and then add the decimal point right there. Example 3. Use the distributive property to show 2 ways to find this answer. So 35 times 20 plus 4. The 2 ways you do it are 35 times 24 and 35 times 20 plus 35 times 4. And I'm going to show you both of these ways, and then we're going to see that the answers are the same. So you do 4 times 5 bring the 0 down. And then you do 4 times 3, 12, 13, 14. And then don't forget to drop your 0. And then do 2 times 10, which is, or 2 times 5, which is 10. And then 2 times 5, which is 10, so 1, 0. And 2 times 3, which is 6, plus that one is 7. Then you add them together. And then we're going to do it this way. So 0 times 5 is 0, 0 times 3 is 0. Put your 0 down, drop your 0. 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 times 3 is 6, and then 7. So you have 700 here. And then you do 5 times 4, which is 20. And then you do 4 times 3, which is 12, 13, 14. And you would do 140 plus 700, which is 840. So your answer on both of them is 840. And example 4. A restaurant chain purchased 95 pounds of potatoes for each of its 26 locations. About how many potatoes were purchased all together? So we're going to say this is about 100, and we're going to say that's about 25. 0, 0, 5. Drop your 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2. And then add these together. About 2,500 potatoes were purchased in all. Have a great day.